Then the second portion of the class, or of the lecture, the lesson, is really about the language of anatomy. So the first one is the anatomical position. Can anybody tell me the anatomical position? Stand up straight, palms forward. Because we got these two bones here, they cross when we go palms down. And so when we explain things, it's easier if they're parallel. That's really the only reason. We make it sound really special. That's so we can talk about the different terms. The whole world communicates about this thing, about these different, parts of our body. We all kind of look more or less the same. So we need to use a language that we can all use. And so we go for Greek and for Latin stuff. All right. So the nose becomes nasal, or the mouth becomes oral, or the armpit becomes axilla, or axillary. The upper arm becomes brachial. And so we have all these things. I want you mostly have to do that at home. Basically, go through these things and go through these terms. But the way I want you to do it, I want you to know which ones you know. And then those you don't worry as much. I mean, like the nose, that's easy. Right? Right. A lot of that is you have to recognize. But like if we get to the arm, the upper arm is the brachial. Do you know how many muscles we got that were brachial in it? Brachioradialis, biceps brachialis, brachial or whatever, coracobrachialis.
Branch.
They're all in the arm. Yeah, branch means branch. There's a branch. I might move. And so when you know these, it will make your life easier as we get to the body. And so you just got to take some time. You know how you do that? You print this out, you cover it up, and you test yourself. You do that a few times, and you've got to figure out which terms are sticky, and then you focus on those, and that's it. Okay? Then, now let's just go through it because I didn't connect the slides properly. Then we have directional terms. We need directional terms to describe where things are in relationship to one another. It's like, it's great. We know this is the mouth. I mean, the nose. We know this is the mouth. This is called brachial. But how about the nose is above the mouth? Stop. So we need those terms, exactly. So we have what? We have superior above, inferior below. These other ones, cranial, cephalad, and caudad. That's all right, but for us right now, don't worry about those. Just focus on the important stuff. Because we use these are old terms, and I want to make sure, if you need to look them up, because they show up somewhere, you have a place to look them up. And we use like a caudad and cranial cephalad. We use that in neurology still a little bit. But those are the people that don't want to change that name. And then we got the one that's front and back. And that's main term for those is anterior and posterior. These terms, ventral and dorsal, that's fine, but I'm not going to test you on that. It's going to come up naturally. Because at first, you kind of get a little overwhelmed with these terms, I think. Oh, it brings me to another thing. You know how you study best. You study your butt off in the beginning of the semester. When everybody's still cruising and waiting for the test, the test is coming. But if you study now, and you set this good foundation, like with these terms, and you don't pull these terms off, then when we build, you will actually remember. And we can build on it. And I tell you this, after the first, after you get into the semester a little bit, you study a lot at first, it's more enjoyable. And you actually can cruise through sort of the rest of the class a little bit easier than if you always cram. Check it out. I've tested this a few times. It worked pretty well. So anterior, posterior, superior, and inferior, those are very important. That slide, those are the 4 terms you want to know. Then we got a few more. When we look at We have things that are closer to the midline and things that are further onto the side. So we're going to have these terms called closer to the midline or further apart to the side. So medial is closer, that's fine. Midline, medial, that goes together, you can handle that. Lateral, they came up with that term. It becomes second nature, believe me, I speak it in my dream. But that means towards the outside. And then when we get to the extremities, the arms and the legs, we have these terms because we have to relate things to their attachments. So something that's closer to the attachment onto the trunk of the extremity, like the shoulder here, that word is used as proximal. And something that's further away, like on the fingertip, we call that distal. So proximal is closer to the attachment to the trunk of the extremity, and distal is further away from that. And then superficial and deep, I think you can figure that one out, right? That's superficial. If I dig it out from underneath, you can see. I haven't organized it, but not okay, and that's almost last, second to last, body planes and sections. When we take MRIs or we take X-rays and get pictures of this body in weird ways where two dimensions come together in a three-dimensional body, we have to describe what are we looking at? What slice am I seeing? Is it one from the side that shows this like side stuff? Is it, there's three main ones. One cuts you into left and right, one into top and bottom, and one in the front and back. And if you ever seen an MRI, you see those. Especially the top and bottom and the side one. That's a big one in the MRI. So when you use the term sagittal, it cuts it in the right and left. Frontal, I like that. In the front and back, you can remember that. And the transverse is top and bottom. And then body cavities. That's the last slide here. We talked about it. Boundaries are very important. Inside our body, they're also very important because we do not want to share the fluids that the brain is in or that the heart is in with the brain. The other way around might work, but the brain is very delicate. And so that needs to be really separated from all the other places. The lungs are mostly liquid. They're mostly airy. The gut's mostly liquidy. There's also a different environment. So we have different body cavities. We have one main one in the back. They call that the dorsal body cavity. See, they don't call it the posterior body cavity. Why not? Because they want you to study hard. That's call it the dorsal. So that's one place where it comes from. And then in the front, we got the ventral body cavity. So look at that. The spine, the nervous system is completely on its own, separated, boundaried by bone. And in the front, we don't have it all that tight, Here we got the ribs, that's pretty good, but the top one is the thoracic. And then here is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle that sits right here like a parachute. It goes up in the inside like that. And actually, when you take a breath, it's actually the diaphragm that goes down. And the air gets sucked in. It's passive. The air coming in is passive. And then when you relax, the diaphragm relaxes, you exhale. And that's your quiet breathing. So when somebody is an anxious person, or is in an anxious state, for example, they breathe up here. They don't breathe here. So the diaphragm is still doing the breathing. Guess what? If this is contracted, because we're going to suck the gut in, we're going to show it, they cannot go anywhere. So you got shallow breathing. So if you're meaning to teach somebody or yourself to take a deep breath, because guess what? Deep breath, more oxygen, more energy, more ways to deal with your anxiety attack. Or whatever it is. But deeper breathing gives you more energy. And so what you can do is you can lay on your back, put a book here, and have it see it go up and down. That's your biofeedback. The biofeedback is, we use that in medicine a lot, biofeedback. Where you can take We can see something. We can visualize a part of what's functionally happening in the body, and we can change our behavior. So that book is one of those things. And so, well, yeah, if you're tired, maybe that would be a good thing too. Just take a 5-minute break and have a book walk time instead of reading it. And that's all I have.